Hello everyone and welcome back to
The box office!
lots of fun stuff to dive into today, so without further ado, let's go right into it. Coming in first was Venom: The Last Dance, making $51 million in its opening weekend, which we'll dive into on how that's both a good and bad thing. Smile 2 came in second, dropping 59%, making $9.5 million. The Wild Robot came in third, making $6.8 million, just a 33% drop from week 4 to week 5. In the estimates, it actually came in fourth, but it ended a little bit higher. This movie continues to kill it. And I think this is also further proof that, well, yes, maybe some kids bought tickets to sneak into Terrifier 3. People are just buying the tickets to this movie because it's fucking good. Conclave came in fourth, which is a very nice surprise. This was not something that I predicted last week, but hey, happy it happened. Made a $6.6 million opening weekend on its week 1, and We Live in Time came in fifth again, making $4.8 million, increasing by 15%, but that is also because it did open in just about 1,000 more theaters, so either way, great for that film. So, a couple fun things to point out before we dive into the other charts. Conclave, apparently from more than one source, the target demographic, or not target, excuse me, the demographic that went out to watch the movie, 70% of them are over the age of 35. And that audience never goes to the movie anymore. Thank you for going to the movies. Keep it going, hopefully. I've seen reports of critics older than me saying they were the youngest person at their screening, so something got people to go back out to the movies of the older age group. Either way, it makes me happy. It is only $6 million, but it's still better than nothing. We'll take it. We'll take those wins. And the reason for my reference to Venom's money earlier and the thumbnail that you've seen is mostly because $51 million is really below projections of what the studio thought it was going to make, and it's not where they wanted it to be at all. However, internationally, Venom made a lot of money, and if the international number continues the way it has been and the way it opened, it'll end up being a certified hit, even if it flops in North America, which is looking likely considering the trajectory that it's on. So as you can see, worldwide, the total's already at $178 million because of a $124 million international open for Venom: The Last Dance. That's great for them, compared to the quite disappointing $54 million opening domestic, and you might be thinking, hey, $54 million's a lot of money, anyone would be happy to make that. I agree with you. However, the first Venom opened to 80, the second Venom opened to 90, this opened to 54. It's a downward trajectory. And on top of that, while Venom 2 opened higher than Venom 1, its full worldwide gross was still less than Venom 1. So a lot of interesting things going on with Venom box office here. The production budget was 110, so it's already at 1.6. Again, that worldwide number, if it can continue where it's been going, we're in for a lot of cool things happening for Venom: The Last Dance in regards to it making profitability. It's really going to depend on that international number because I think audiences are going to practically already give up on it domestically, but I could be wrong, and I'd like to be wrong. Let's see what the drop is next weekend. Jumping to Smile 2 here, it now has $84 million worldwide, and while it's not listed here, I've heard that the budget is somewhere around 22 to 25 million, so it's practically already, no, not practically, it is in the profitability range, I think, if my math is working out correctly there, which it should be. So good for Smile 2. It was quite a fun little horror movie. The Wild Robot continues to slowly make bank for the studio, which is good to see considering we want that sequel, which apparently is coming. Worldwide, it has $233 million and a budget of 78. It's at 3, so we're practically a little bit into profitability now for Wild Robot. It's only up from here. Let's see how much further it can go. I'm hoping for at least 250 worldwide from it. And 112 of that's domestic. That's pretty huge. Conclave is only open domestically, and its total number now is at $7.3 million because I'm recording this on a Tuesday. And I don't have the budget here. I don't imagine it was too high, but Ray Fiennes also probably isn't cheap, so we'll have to look at profitability as a factor later on once we get more budget details. We Live in Time is at $12 million worldwide, which I believe is not too far off from the production budget. It's slightly under. I want to say the budget was somewhere between 15 and 25, which I know is a big range, but these lower budget movies are hard to find their budgets on. But listen, it's gone up each weekend, but that is also due to just the theater count increasing. I do expect it to finally have a drop next weekend, but if that drop can stay low and this can stick in the top 5, top 10, then We Live in Time could end up slowly becoming a certified hit. We're just going to have to see how it does continually. I wanted to bring up Terrifier 3 because it now has $51 million worldwide, which makes Terrifier 3 the highest grossing non-rated film, not rated film, in history. Great job, and congratulations to the team behind Terrifier 3, and that is 25.7 times the production budget of $2 million. Again, congratulations to everyone involved there. Joker Filet Ado I also wanted to bring up because it has crossed the $200 million mark worldwide. It has officially made its production budget back, and it's looking like it's not likely going to make much else, considering the film is already available on digital, and it's slowly going to fall out and just stop making money here within probably 2 to 3 weeks. So it'll end its box office run with maybe $5 more million than this if we're lucky. So just barely over that production budget. It's going to lose, millions of dollars for the studio, which is a shame. You never want to see a movie lose money like that. Next weekend, or this weekend I should say, is going to be a very interesting turnout for the movies because it is Halloween. So will people be going to the movies? Will they be at their Halloween parties? What's the situation going to be there? I know that Anora does open a little bit wide, but I'm not quite sure. By a little bit wide, I think it's just going to like a slight limited release. I don't think it's going to have a huge bump in the box office right now, at least not until Oscar nominations come out, because seemingly it's going to get nominated for a lot. I'm curious to see how the horror movies are going to do next weekend and to see if kind of they're going to be the driving force behind a lot of these, or if they're going to be, because of it being Thursday, Halloween, then Friday into that weekend. It's going to be interesting. The predictions are going to be difficult, but here I go. I'm going to go for it. Call me crazy. I think the top 5 are going to be exactly the same. I think that Smile 2 might make a little bit more money just for that horror bump, but I literally think it's going to be exactly the same in regard to the top 5. Maybe Anora gets in 5th, but I think that We Live in Time has slowly been growing in its audience, and maybe it won't drop off that much. And with Anora's limited release, I don't know if it can get past $4 million. I expect it to make maybe 2 to 3, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens in the top 5. Put your predictions in the comments, and if you're right, I'll shout you out on the show. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.